Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. And these two ACC foes are meeting in non-conference play. The first meeting between Wake Forest and North Carolina in 4 years. And these longtime rivals have had some very exciting finishes to undefeated records.
I am here with North Carolina head coach Mack Brown. And coach, what a start to the season, but for the third straight week, you're the underdog heading into a game. What is your message?
Molly, the message was, let's be us. We can't control how Wake Forest plays. We can't control the environment, short week, all that stuff. Football's very simple. People are very complicated. So let's simplify our lives. You do your job.
What do you need to do against their size at receiver?
Those two receivers are really good. We got short guys, got to play tall, but we're going to change up some coverage. We're going to try to get in their face and give them different looks.
All right, thank you, Coach. Adam.
Patrice Renee, their cornerback, their tallest corner, is out tonight, Molly. So a lot of size at wide receiver for Dave Clawson and Wake Forest. They're off to a 2-0 start on a 4-game win streak going back to the end of last season. Two programs meeting in a non-conference game, a rare occurrence. But of course, with the conference realignment over the course of the last decade plus, these two teams have now been separated into different divisions. That's why they decided to fill out their Power 5 slots with this non-conference in-state rivalry showdown. Wake won the toss and deferred, and North Carolina will receive. Michael Carter is back to return this Nick Skiba kick. And a touchback, and out to the 25-yard line will come North Carolina. Adam Amin, Matt Hasselbeck, Pat McAfee up here in the booth. And Matt, I know you're very excited about these quarterbacks. Relatively inexperienced, but man, they have been impressive so far.
That's right, Adam, and they're very different stylistically, but where they're similar is that clutch gene. You're talking about quarterbacks, you want them to play great in the fourth quarter. Well, we've got two undefeated teams because of these quarterbacks in the fourth quarter play.
And undefeated teams, a perfect time to showcase your program. Friday night, national television here on ESPN. Coach Clawson, Coach Brown, both excited to where their programs are. Tonight, I think we have a good one ahead of them.
Sam Howell and Jamie Newman, the two QBs that Matt was referring to. Sam Howell and the Tar Heels go to work first. Michael Carter gets chopped down in the open field by Nasir Greer. Sam Howell with a couple of fourth quarter comeback wins in his true freshman season, Matt.
That's right, and listen, this is a freshman that hasn't played a lot of football, obviously, but you would never know it. The ball's been in his hands in the fourth quarter, and he hasn't just happened to be on the winning team. He's been the reason that they've been winning games.
Out of Indian Trail, North Carolina. Under pressure early, and he'll get wrapped up back at the 25-yard line. Pressure came in from Dion Bergen and Rondell Bothroyd. Early third down and long scenario for North Carolina.
Sam Howell comes from a football coaching family. They say he's always even keeled. Third and long here early. Let's see what the kid's got.
Howell backpedaling. He finds his target in Daz Newsome, but excellent work to run him down by Justin Strnad, the top tackler for Wake Forest's defense.
Well, Strnad's a great player. He's going to be all over the field. You know, just about every person we talked about mentioned Justin Strnad, but for Wake Forest defensively, they showed a blitz look and bailed out of it. I think they're going to give the young freshman a lot of things to think about tonight.
And now we get a look at the Irish punter from Dublin, Ben Kiernan.
Love this guy. His numbers aren't great because Coach Brown told him to kick the ball out of bounds. They're going to let him bang away tonight. See if he can get those numbers up a little bit.
Punting away to Sage Surratt. And out of bounds it does go. Wake Forest will have decent field position to start this night. So Jamie Newman, Matt, you saw his first career start. It was a comeback win against NC State, and he's done it 2 more times since.
Like I said, he's got the clutch gene. This guy came out of nowhere last year with the huge upset on the road, and that's what he's been doing. Fourth quarter heroics. He's done it as a runner. He's done it as a thrower. And I'll say this team believes in him as their starting quarterback. He's a weapon. He's a big guy. 235 pounds. I wouldn't want to tackle him.
Me neither.
Kind of riding that read, and he'll take it himself, using that big body to the 48-yard line.
North Carolina's D coordinator yesterday said they have to have gap discipline, especially with the RPO ball maneuvering by Jamie Newman.
Jade Bateman is the defensive coordinator for North Carolina. He was at Army the last 5 years, so he knows option football very well. Christian Beal-Smith powering ahead, pushing the pile for a first down to the North Carolina 44.
You gotta like the start for Wake Forest. This is sort of an undersized offensive line. Not one of these guys even weighs 300 pounds, and yet they're pushing this pile out the gate.
After the holding penalty against Wake Forest, it's first down and long. And Christian Beal-Smith gets run down by Miles Wolfuk, one of the great safeties in this defensive backfield for North Carolina.
We can't stress it enough. The unorthodox length of the handoff is just trying to bait the North Carolina defense into losing gap discipline so they can take advantage.
Newman on the slant finds Scotty Washington, the big 6'5" target. It'll be third down and long. Guys, this was one of the fastest offenses in all of college football last year. They're averaging better than 83 plays a game so far this year.
Which is absolutely remarkable. I mean, in the NFL, the average game will be about 63 plays. These guys are up over 90 plays a game.
Taking a shot for Scotty Washington, incomplete.
Contested balls is something that the Wake Forest offense thrives off of. They're not scared to take a shot like that. North Carolina knew it was coming, and Wake Forest was potentially waiting for it.
And Pat, we talked about it. Patrice Renee, one of the best cornerbacks for North Carolina, is out. He was their tallest corner at 6'2". There's a ton of receiver size on the outside.
And they've been taking advantage of the first couple weeks. Scotty Washington had a game winner, was the ACC wide receiver of the week. Not easy to do in the ACC. A lot of great players here.
Wide receiver of the whole week, Pat, the whole week.
The whole week.
Not a day.
That's 7 days, guys.
Italian stallion Maggio into punt.
Tom Maggio from Moncton, Maryland. I just wanted to say that because that's fun to say. A good punt, though, inside the 10.
Oh, let's go. This is beautiful. Are you kidding me?
Beautifully done by Tom Maggio. Montavious Groves bailed out, and Maggio pins him inside the 5. Mac Brown, his first head coaching job at Appalachian State in 1983. They'll take on App State next week. Took over at Tulane. An excellent career going to North Carolina in one stint. Had 69 wins. Nice the first time around. Won a national championship at Texas. Was in the booth with us and in the studio for 5 years, but named North Carolina head coach in late November last year. A few days before he was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Now at 68 years of age, has a chance to tie Dick Crum for the most wins as a North Carolina head coach. And Sam Howell's got a long way to go, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
And Adam, Dave Clawson mentioned that he wants this rivalry to live. He wants this matchup to stay on the schedule. He says, listen, it makes way too much sense for Wake Forest to play North Carolina. Like, what do we do? We're doing something wrong if these two teams don't get to play each other more.
Right.
They played for 85 years straight before this 4-year hiatus. Big win for either team that they can get here. Pop one off.
Javonte Williams lost the football and is loose at the 20. And it may have been picked up by Wake Forest. Nasir Greer punched it out, and the Demon Deacons have it.
This is why field position matters, Matt Hasselbeck. Get the pin. Seems like it's going the other way. Ball comes out. All of a sudden, Wake Forest is in a beautiful position to get the first points of the night.
This is a huge momentum swing. North Carolina looks like they're busting one free. And Nasir Greer with a huge stick. What do they say? Got to touch the ball. These defenders in practice, they say every single chance you get, touch the ball. And Luke Masterson, Nasir Greer, a team effort on defense. They get the ball back for this offense.
They have an entire point system in practice if they touch the ball before or after the play. It's graded. It's a very important thing for every team, but in specific, Wake Forest here, they keep track of everything.
There goes Kenneth Walker. First down and goal, Wake Forest.
And a lot of times after a turnover, you expect them to take a shot. We had soft defense by the safeties and allowed that run to be successful.
Riding the read, Newman keeps, and Newman is in. Touchdown, Wake Forest. Demon Deacons on the board first.
It becomes almost like a power whenever they hold on to it that long. Jamie Newman almost had the running back leading the way through the hole there for the first points of the board here in Winston-Salem. What a turn of events, Matt.
Well, we mentioned what a threat he is in the red zone. Jamie Newman, not only as a thrower, but mostly as a runner. You said it, Pat. He does a little dog walk celebration in the end zone. That is a huge, that was set up by the defense, and they answered on offense with the opportunity.
Set up by the punter. There's a kicker adding the second point. Mr. Nick Stephen, have a little respect.
You talked about it, the quick change. Nasir Greer, who did it against Notre Dame last year, had a big forced fumble, set up great field position for Jamie Newman to bang home the touchdown. Demon Deacon's up.
Well, we've heard of the turnover chain and the turnover thrown, but has anyone ever seen a turnover thermometer? Now, it's not on the sidelines, but in Wake Forest defensive meeting room, there's a thermometer graphic that charts the team takeaways. You can see leading into today, they had 4, and their team goal for the season is 25. Justin Surratt told me this new emphasis on turnovers has been intense, and you saw it right there with that Greer forced fumble, Adam.
Lyle Hemphill is the defensive coordinator for Wake Forest. They had 16 turnovers last year, already up to a much better start this season. Michael Carter on the return for North Carolina onto the 23-yard line. Now Sam Howell back to work. Wanted to take a shot, ran out of time. Carlos Basham, or as he's known,
Basham, Adam.
Great name.
And Adam, you mentioned they're trying to take a shot. Amari Henderson jumped that hitch route earlier in the game. They went to the slant and go, also known as a sluggo. They tried to take the shot. Amari Henderson, he must have been alerted on the sideline. He did not take the bait.
Yeah, handoff here for Javonte Williams. Nothing there as Suleiman Kamara makes the stop. This front for Wake Forest lighting it up a little bit, and a key matchup with Charlie Heck and Boogie Basham.
You're right, Charlie Heck's probably one of the best football players on the field tonight. We mentioned the 13 NFL teams, scouts here in attendance. These are the two guys they really came to see. Boogie Basham lined up against Charlie Heck. Charlie Heck, his father's the offensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is a monster of a man and a great football player, good athlete.
Howe into traffic, nearly intercepted by Isang Bassi, and Bo Corrales basically had to become the defender there.
This Wake Forest defense has been stingy tonight. Just a couple years ago, Sam Howell could throw a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't care how fast you can throw it, it's going to be tough to thread the needle there.
Well, I don't like this decision. This is the tight window that's really not even there. I don't think Patrick Mahomes could make that throw. And Patrick Mahomes can make just about every throw. So they're going to have to protect the football better than they have in this first quarter.
Well, Ben Kiernan with his 4th punt. This is the 4th 3-and-out for North Carolina, plus they had the fumble. No flag on the play.
Great
But
roll.
a great roll inside the 25-yard line for Ben Kiernan. True freshman from Dublin, grew up playing rugby, moved to Raleigh, North Carolina in 2014 and started paying attention to football and really loved North Carolina's campus. The reason his family came to the United States, and particularly the Research Triangle in North Carolina, his sister has cerebral palsy, and they could get better treatment in the great research area, the Research Triangle of North Carolina. He's a dual citizen of Ireland and the United States. A great story and a great young man. Mac Brown was very high on him.
Two brothers playing rugby at NC State. He's here at North Carolina. I think this is going to be home for the Kiernans for a long time, kind of finding his groove. No yard left behind on that bounce right there.
I like that. No yard left behind. Another deep shot looking for Surratt, and he hauls it in inside the North Carolina 40.
What a big-time catch here by the little brother, Sage Surratt. They said they're going to take shots. They don't care if he's covered. They're going to put it up. They've been doing it 3-4 times now. The first time that comes through, a 41-yard completion down the sideline for Newman.
Sage Surratt, he looked like he was a little nervous early. He had the fumble playing against Big Brother. Not nervous now, had the drop. That was a huge play. That is not going to be the last shot they take to him tonight. And they did it on their best cover corner playing tonight, Trey Morrison, number 4.
Surratt entered the game with 203 yards. Washington with 204 through the first 2 weeks. They were the 2 most productive receivers of any ACC team, of any ACC player. Kenneth Walker busted a 96-yarder last week, and he sets up Wake Forest in the red zone.
Discipline. Matty Hasselbeck. Gap, discipline.
Gap.
That's all the D coordinator said.
That's all he said. And you know, all we heard from Wake Forest is we like to redshirt and develop guys. We don't play a lot of true freshmen. Well, guess what? If you're a true freshman playing for Wake Forest, that means you're pretty good. That was a pretty good run there.
No edge.
By Kenneth Walker.
No chance.
Riding the read. Good block by Walker. And Jamie Newman is able to take it near the 6-yard line.
Ooh, a little pushing late there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's so impressive about Kenneth Walker. Not only did he have the lead block on the touchdown, but watch, they bring a corner blitz off the edge here. And instead of getting the ball, he says, you know what? You keep the ball. I'll make the block on Greg Ross, the corner coming off the edge. This is really impressive for a true freshman.
It's like a power offense there along this. It's incredible. 2 incredible runners in the backfield. It's going to be tough to stop all night for North Carolina. Excited to see the adjustments they make, Adam.
7-0 to start. Greer punched it loose. Newman punched it in. Demon Deacons with the first slug of the night. Yeah, that's a thing that's happening, and we are pumped for it. September 15th with Week 2, NFL Primetime on ESPN+. Sunday nights, you don't want to miss it. I hear the music, I get jacked up.
Hey, that's pretty cool. They call that the Chris Berman, Tom Jackson studio, where we do countdown every day. It's cool to have those guys back.
Whoop.
2nd and 3, Jamie Newman on the run. Can pick up the first down without the score, but he wants to score. Touchdown, Wake Forest. His 2nd of the night.
Refuses to be stopped. They said Cam Newton-like player. Cam Newton didn't play great last night, but when Cam Newton was humming, he was unstoppable, just like Jamie Newman there. That's pure grit, Matt Hasselbeck.
Well, you're not kidding. Listen, UNC was great in red zone defense. What's the difference tonight? We mentioned Strobridge is not out, running right on that right side of the line behind the Beef Boys. That's what the offensive line calls themselves. That is pure determination. This is an in-state rivalry, home game, national TV. Jamie Newman's got to be fired up with his 2nd touchdown run tonight.
Now, Nick Skiba here, the kicker. I buried him on the internet last year.
Yeah, you did.
And he's an incredible kicker who just so happened to not show up for his first field goal attempt against Notre Dame.
What do you mean he didn't show up?
He literally didn't go on the field.
Like 10 guys on the field?
Yep. 10 guys in the field.
But he has bounced back in an incredible fashion.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish, Pat.
He's been red hot on field goal attempts. How do you feel about that one, Pat?
That's not good for the brand, Pat.
That it is not, but Nick Skiba has been an incredible kicker. His sister told me to be nice to him today, but Nick Skiba can't be doing that. He knows that he's too good of a kicker to do that. Really haven't been able to do anything. Looking for something. Nice 4-yard gain there.
Yep, Michael Carter will run it there.
What would you do if you're a struggling quarterback, you're young, you're an offensive coordinator? What would you do to get Sam Howell going?
You know, this isn't too different than how they've started their other games. They're just really trying to not put too much on his plate. They want the game close in the 4th quarter, and that's really when they've unleashed him, you know, the first 2 weeks of the season. But clearly when you're down 14-0, you got to throw the ball a little bit.
We'll run it here with that big body, and he took a hard hit from the senior captain, Isang Bassi. It'll set up 3rd down immediately.
This Wake Forest defense is flying all over the place. Sam Howell tucks it, tried to pick up some yard, and Isang, boom, big time hit in honor of Chris Berman being back on ESPN+.
Big 3rd down.
Swinging outside, incomplete for Daz Newsome. And another 3 and out for North Carolina. That's their 5th.
Matt Brown told us that he told his team, we're going to find out a lot about ourselves by about 10 o'clock on Friday night. Are we for real or are we for not? We've been underdogs in every game. They're the only team in the country to beat 2 top 30 teams in the first 2 weeks. Starting out a little sluggish here early. Sam Howell has to find a rhythm if they want it. And on the flip side, Wake Forest has been dominant.
And really, I think the problem is they've been in 3rd and very long.
Yeah.
And that's why they're 0 for 5 on 3rd down.
Kiernan punts away again. And a fair catch for Sage Surratt at the 15-yard line. Smallest Power 5 school in the country, Wake Forest. Beautiful campus here in Winston-Salem. Congrats to Tony Bresky, the head coach of the 2018 men's team that won the national championship last year. Christian Beal-Smith takes it to the 21 for Wake Forest, already up 2 touchdowns.
What'd you say, Wake Forest, national champs in tennis?
2018 national titles. Tony Bresky with the
and they're
head
playing
coach.
well tonight.
Fun fact, 5,200 undergrad students here at Wake Forest.
Instead of going to break, smallest Power 5 school in the country in terms of enrollment. There's Sage Surratt with a penalty marker thrown out to the 35-yard line. Made the grab in front of Dominique Ross, so we'll check the marker.
This Wake Forest offense is really settling in, it feels like. Really getting comfortable.
Holding, defense, number 4. That penalty's declined. Results of the play, first down.
Trey Morrison, the cornerback, called for the hold on Surratt, negate the penalty and take the yardage.
And it's a really nice route release by Surratt. And we talked to his brother. We said, give us a scouting report on your little brother. And he said, listen, I don't think they should use him in the slot so much. I think he should be outside as the single receiver like he was right there. So a really nice scouting report by big brother. And a nice play by little brother.
I mean, he's been playing catch with Sage his entire life. Tonight, bragging rights are on the line in the Surratt family.
Hey, and you guys said this might be the last chance that they play against each other, but I think
They got a shot in the NFL.
Matt said it too. There's NFL potential for both of these guys.
That'd be pretty cool to see. Sage and Chaz squared off. It's Sage's crew on top 2 scorers. Timeout. But so far, Molly, a struggling start as we saw in the first couple of games too.
Bill's backup quarterback Jace Ruder still warming up on the sidelines, and offensive coordinator Phil Longo grabbed both quarterbacks and says, it's time, you got to get it going. And Sam Howell looking defeated on the sidelines. A teammate said, you don't look like you're having fun out there.
They're playing catch with each other right now. That's the relationship they have in there, though. Although they're both very competitive, both want the starting role, they do pull for each other, which you don't always see, man.
Well, I was here this summer. I talked to Mac. They had not even announced the starting quarterback before the start of their preseason. And so that's how close this competition was. But, you know, I just really got to believe Sam Howell's going to pick it up. He had 2 drives of more than 90 yards against South Carolina. He was just been a slow starter.
They're going to have to, because this Wake Forest offense is starting to hum, Adam Amin.
If they were to go with the other quarterback, Jace Ruder, I think it's because he's a better runner, and I just don't think that that would be the right decision right now.
Fresh set of downs for Wake Forest. Shot deep. Surratt got it. And he is in for the touchdown.
What a night for Sage Surratt. Started a little bit rough early, had the jitters, playing against the big brother. Got loose long early down the sideline, now with a 51-yard touchdown with a perfectly thrown ball.
And it's a great call. They pump the bubble to the right, kind of a stalk route, going back like you're gonna block him, and then you take off. Surratt with an excellent execution of what I would call a little bit of a trick play. Perfectly timed, perfectly called, perfectly executed.
Nick Skipa here. His little sister told me to be nice to him. His last kick was a kickoff out of bounds. Can he tack on the 21st point? Can't tell from the angle we're watching.
I'm throwing my hands up, Pat. It's good, I promise. Sage Surratt, 4 grabs, 119 yards. His second 100-yard game already this season. Little brother getting it done. What a start for Jamie Newman. Already 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, and 1 51-yard strike to the redshirt sophomore Sage Surratt to put Wake Forest up 21-0. And now the North Carolina offense, which does not have a first down yet in this game, is going to try to dig out of a 3-touchdown hole. A little short kick here. Avoid a return potentially, at least a deep one. And one of the up men in Garrett Walston has it. 5th straight game for Surratt going back to last year with a touchdown reception. Sam Howell slings it out. Daz Newsome with a good grab. He gets hit hard but holds on to the football. Joshua Ezudu, a redshirt freshman, is into the game for Tucker right now. On second down and short, Sam Howell gives North Carolina its first down of the night. And oh, hello.
That is
the umpire went tumbling down.
And the crowd loves it. This is one of the most athletic plays we've seen tonight. It was by the umpire.
Danny Worrell is the umpire. Oh, little somersault action. I like it.
Well done. Taking a shot.
Deep shot, looking for De'Ami Brown, and just out of his reach. Nasir Greer in coverage against Brown.
Well, that was another sluggo, a slant and go, and Wake Forest didn't fall for it. But I got to believe, if I'm Sam Howell right now, I got to give my guy a chance to touch the ball. It's a pretty spiral. It's a good ball. It's deep. It's a good-looking ball. But you got to give your guys a chance to touch it.
I mean, you got to have a little understanding, though. Sam Howell just took out the umpires and jacked up.
A little emotionally scarred after the play.
Oh, same play.
Double move. A pump and a toss. What a grab by Corrales.
Sam Howell, you got to finish the catch.
Yep.
They said.
Could not hold on to it at the 32, and he's a little bit slow to get up after the play.
Well, that was the same play that Wake Forest scored on out of a different formation. They pump the bubble. Everyone does that stock block. They're faking the stock block, and then they go deep. Different coverage, so it's a different kind of throw. Bo Corrales, 6'4", has an opportunity to come down with the ball.
And here we are, 3rd and long yet again, Adam. 21 zip on the road.
Sam Howell running out of time again. Excellent coverage downfield by Wake Forest, and Boogie Basham closes it out.
Well, we mentioned all these NFL scouts here to see Boogie Basham rush the passer. He does it from the left. He does it from the right. He's got a lot of potential, but I'll tell you what, I know you got, when it's 3rd and long, that's what a pass rusher, a sack master, that's what they're looking for. That's what they're living for, especially at home with a good crowd.
3 sacks.
North Carolina's got to find a way to get it going.
Can't blame Sam Howell there. He tried to make the most of it. That coverage in the back, it's almost a secondary sack, isn't it? Great coverage. Big ball here.
I like the roller coaster up to the top, and then the disappointment right at the bottom.
Well, I mean, it's a 20-yard swing right there, Adam.
Yeah, it's a worse net. Take off 20 on the net. It's a 37-yard net punt. Bounce to the outside by Christian Beal-Smith. And he's close to the sticks. No Cade Carney so far in this game. Would be a 2nd straight week that he did not play, but Walker and Beal-Smith are doing a good job tonight.
And the tempo is a real thing, and that's 3 straight drives of 74 yards or more. Wake Forest has run 40 plays already tonight.
Ruggiero, offense coordinator, said they have about 6 different sets that they can run 700 different plays out of.
He may have been exaggerating, Pat.
And I might have got the number wrong. You get it.
Trying to push it with Beal-Smith. Good job by Trey Morrison coming up with the cornerback spot for the stop, and it'll set up 3rd and short. And
that's about the 5th corner blitz for Trey Morrison coming off that side. The ball's on the left hash. We mentioned Wake Forest with this slow kind of Clausen carry play action. And they're saying, hey, you know what? We're not waiting around for it. We're going to bring the heat. We're going to bring it off the corner.
Clausen carry. I didn't hear that from that. I think you're the first. Do you like it or no?
I don't know. I don't love it.
You don't love it. You like it, you don't love it.
Every meeting we were in yesterday, you were trying to ask them to name what they do. And you said, you know what? I'll do it.
And he came up with Clausen carry.
Put it on a shirt.
Jamie Newman. Let's see where the forward progress is ruled.
It's a big spot here for North Carolina's heart.
DJ Ford made the stop, and indeed it is short. A couple of good stops back-to-back by the North Carolina defense in short yardage.
Mac Brown getting a timeout in, too, saving some clock.
2.5 to go.
Well, Mac Brown preaches to his team. It is so important how you play in the last 5 minutes of the 2nd quarter. And that's 2 big stops. Two big stops by the North Carolina defense trying to pick up the slack for their offense. Why are college punts so different than NFL punts? Why do they look different?
Well, they're kind of spread out like this because in the NFL, only 2 guys can leave the line of scrimmage before the ball is kicked. In college, everybody can go. You need to hang it still, though. This can spark something in a big return. Great coverage by Wake Forest.
Newsome chopped down. 2 first downs, 7 punts. Now, I know McAfee from the 30,000-foot view loves this. North Carolina's offense does not love that number right now, and it is the second series for Jace Ruder at QB.
That's why it's team football, though. You got to lift people up. The defense is trying to do that to North Carolina. Jace Ruder in here had a little bit of a spark with that long run. Can they build some momentum here before half?
And they got to run the ball, and they got to run it on first down. This has been a dominating defense by the Demon Deacons. That's 4 Ds, but they need 4 runs in a row here. Get these guys going. It's the O-line's best friend. They're not listening. They're taking a shot.
Ruder scrambling out of the pocket. And he's brought down by Luke Masterson. The hybrid rover safety knocks him down in the open field for a loss.
Here we are yet again in 3rd and forever, Matt.
Well, this is exactly what they've been doing all night. They've been in 3rd and forever. That's why they're 0 for 7 on 3rd down. The average distance is 3rd and 9.
Wake and North Carolina meeting here tonight, 107th time. This series goes back to 1888. It was played between Wake Forest out at Wake Forest, North Carolina, until they moved their campus across the state about 100 miles west to Winston-Salem. They will play another non-conference game in 2021. After all the conference realignment and expansion, these 2 teams were separated divisionally, so they don't protect those cross-division matchups because of the other protected rivalries. Jace Ruder on the run. I wonder if this is 4-down territory now. And 1:40 to go here in this 4th quarter.
I think it might be, but you know, mentioned Dave Clawson loves this game, loves the fact that these 2 teams get to play each other. And after tonight, I bet you he feels even stronger about that. This has been a dominating night by this Demon Deacon defense.
Surratt with the fair catch at the 19-yard line.
Right now, Wake Forest has a chance to do that. Old Bill Belichick 2 for 1. They get the ball in the second half. Steal points now, get the ball back in the second half, really put this thing away, although they're already up 3 scores.
A lot of coaches call that the double score.
Ooh.
Double score. You got the ball at the end of the half, and you get the ball coming out of the second half.
Demon Deacon double score.
Delightful. Deacon, by the way, is a man that wears a hat. Here in Winston-Salem, he just so happens to be an evil one.
Their mascot is Nightmare Fuel, frankly.
You know what? You can't blame him here. About to take a knee and go take it into half. Coach Clawson has to feel good about the program that he's built, what he says the right way. Red-shirting kids, building them up in the strength and conditioning room. 23 or 24 red-shirt seniors on the team, 7 of them playing. Coach Clawson's going into half with a big smile on his face. I'm not sure what they teach at his etiquette school in this type of situation. We'll talk about that more in the second half. But what a dominant first half here for Coach Clawson in Winston-Salem.
Well done. He looked confident yesterday. He did, didn't he? He had his legs crossed. He looked comfortable, showing off his new building, his new athletic facilities. He said, I love this team. I love this program. Going up against the legend, Ed Mac Brown. What a first half.
Shout out Molly.
Let's go to Matt Berry for the halftime report. We're not going to make you wait. Kickoff of the second half. And a fair catch out to the 25-yard line comes Wake Forest, up 21-0. Adam Amin, Matt Hasselbeck, Pat McAfee back in the booth. Molly McGrath in a moment on the field. You're really impressed by Wake Forest, understandably so.
In every way, only 1 penalty, but how about 21 points, over 300 yards in total offense, and Jamie Newman. Dave Clawson said it to us yesterday. I believe in this guy. What a performance.
North Carolina, what are you thinking right now?
Mac Brown's a Hall of Famer. Kids love him. Since the day he got there, they loved him. Let's see what happens in the halftime, because this could get ugly or this could become a dogfight with the North Carolina Tar Heels. They got to do something early.
21-0 start for Wake Forest, and Jamie Newman sets up shop at the 25-yard line. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in the first half. A little power ahead for maybe a yard. Moments ago, Molly was with Mac Brown.
Coach, what went into your decision to make the switch at quarterback in the first half?
We made no first downs. We were bad. Give Wake Forest credit. So when things aren't working, that's the first thing you go. We'll come back with Sam the second half.
All right, what adjustments do you need to make defensively?
Well, defensively, we actually did some good things. We are losing the edge, so they're bouncing their slow zone running play outside. We're not getting any pressure on the quarterback, so we got to do both of those. But we did stop them on a 3rd and short and a 4th and short, and that's the only thing that's keeping us in the game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Molly.
Max saw some positives there from his defense. You can't help it because they're towards the end. They got a couple stops. That offense, though, they got to do something. And if this 3rd down stop is something, it could ignite the North Carolina Tar Heels. And on the flip side, if they pick it up.
Long pass outside, incomplete. Good job to run to the football by Miles Dorn. And they get a 3-and-out stop to begin the second half.
Well, you said it, Pat. A lot of energy on this defense coming out. These guys look renewed, energized, and a big play at the moment of truth by Miles Dorn. He's one of their leaders back there. It's strong safety, free safety, kind of does it all.
This is one of those games where you wish you were in the locker room at halftime with North Carolina to hear what Mac Brown had to say.
And you heard him say some of it to Molly. Hey, we got to set the edge. If you cannot stop the run if you don't set the edge.
Daz Newsome is back to return. Dom Maggio boots it away. Fair catch, 25-yard line. Let's go back down to the field and Molly McGrath.
Well, Adam, Sam Howell back at quarterback this half for North Carolina. I asked Mac Brown what his message was to Howell in the locker room. He said, go be you. You're not playing like yourself. Play the way that we know you can play. So Mac showing his confidence in his freshman quarterback by putting him back out there, Adam.
Similar message delivered by Mac Brown's old quarterback, Colt McCoy. McCoy started as a freshman at Texas for Mac Brown. Before the season began, he had Colt McCoy call Sam Howell. And then when he asked Sam, hey, what did Colt say? The response was, he told me to be me, be myself. And that was Molly just reported back to us as Howell starts this drive with a handoff to Michael Carter.
I think it's smart to get the ball into the running back's hands. Establish a run early so then Sam can just make plays when he has to. I've never been a quarterback that's been benched and put back out there. That has to be quite a mental test. But they say this young kid is always even killed. We'll find out. He's 18, turning 19 Monday. This is a big second half for him.
Back to the ground game and Carter and a 3rd down and short situation.
This is okay. This is exactly what you're looking for. If your play caller has 3rd and 1s all day, this is the only 3rd and short that they've had the entire night. The running backs are a huge strength on your team. I get it that you're 2-0 and you've got a freshman quarterback with a lot of potential, but you're 0 for 8 on 3rd down tonight for a reason. You're not winning 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to win short yardage.
Handoff again, this time Javonte Williams stacked up right near the 35-yard line. Nasir Greer, who had that forced fumble in the first half, came up to stop him just shy of the sticks.
Nasir Greer has had an excellent night tonight as a tackler. These safeties, they got to kind of be hybrids. When you're playing a spread team, you know, you got to be the guy that can cover somebody in man off the slot. Then all of a sudden you're playing a 2 tight end team, you're like a linebacker. I'll tell you, in short yardage, you got to play like a linebacker. He did a nice job.
4th and a 1.5 feet. This is everything that you are as a team. Down 3 scores. Can we get going?
Javonte Williams has the 1st down. Able to move it out to the 40-yard line.
Those are the moments in the offseason training that you think about. 4th and short. What are we going to do? Backs against the wall. They've come out here in the second half, kept the ball on the ground, and made the big 1st down here to get going.
Well, Pat, you said it. I'd like to be in the locker room at halftime to hear what Max said him. Whatever said to them, whatever he said seems to be working.
Quick 3 and out. 1st down.
Might have been the best sequence all night for North Carolina. Howell dumps it off to Walston, the tight end. He gets upended by Greer. Picks up about 4 on 1st down. Remember, no Carl Tucker tonight. The senior is out at tight end with a hamstring injury, so Walston right there makes the 2nd catch of his career.
Yeah, and Walston's more of a receiving tight end. They've got Vargas, who's probably more of a blocker. Having 2 tight ends who can do both is important. I would say both these guys can do both, but if you're looking to throw the ball, 84 is going to be the guy you got to key on.
Howell's looking deep. Again, good coverage downfield once again by this Wake Forest secondary.
Well, they tried another double move, meaning they're pretending to have a short pass and then they're going deep. And really, Wake Forest just isn't taking it. This is another sluggo, slant and go. Wake Forest is like, we're not buying it.
The type of players that come and play at Wake Forest, Coach Clawson talked about it. Disciplined players. And they've been proving that all night. That quarterback, Sam Howell, has been sitting in there for a long time with incredible coverage. Third and forever yet again, Matt.
Just a three-man rush. They set up the screen, and that gets blown up by Nasir Greer. Found Daz Newsome and shut down the drive.
This is as dominating a performance as I've ever seen a defense have. Nasir Greer with another big hit. He caused the first fumble that led to the first touchdown. A huge stop on a short yardage play. This guy's having a great night. And not even a starter. It's the starters who are playing well. It's the backups that are playing well.
It's something you can build on, though. They got a little first down. They had a 3 and out. The defense is going to have to pick them up yet again.
Surratt, a little bobble there, but he corrals it.
Great
Somehow
coverage.
stays on his feet. Helmet goes flying.
Absolute incredible coverage, Adam.
They keep him right at the 20-yard line. Kiernan on the blast.
Adam, you are watching the ACC on ESPN. Felt good about it.
I liked it.
I loved it.
Eight minimum, and just only because it was the first go. Jamie Newman hit as he throws, dangerous pass. Miles Dorn's out there, and it is an interception for North Carolina.
This is the type of thing that can turn it all around. Contested balls from Jamie Newman was what they've been living by, and now is it what they're going to be dying from. Just threw it up there, big time play by Dorn.
Well, you mentioned it. It was the pressure on Jamie Newman that makes him kind of floated up there. Jonathan Smith with the pressure. It's a nice catch, but sort of a gimme. Kind of like a punt, though, Pat.
Hey, you know what they say? See Toddy, catch the ones they throw you. He did that. Could this turn the North Carolina Tar Heels night around?
See Toddy. C-T-T-O-T-T-Y?
Well, see Toddy is obviously C-T-O-T-T-Y. Catch the ones they throw you. He did just that. Sam Howell has an opportunity now.
Off a play action fake. Has time again with nothing downfield, so we'll dump it down for Javonte Williams. And he gets brought down by Jasir Taylor.
That's great coverage in the back end. Sam Howell had all day to throw, and nobody was open.
We talked with Lyle Hemphill, and you get this sense that this is a defense that he was starting to gain confidence in going back to the end of last year. They had a great game against NC State that you saw, very good against Duke, held Memphis scoreless in the bowl game for a good chunk of that game. And now their defense continues to pitch the shutout. Manny Walker off the edge, making the stop there on Williams.
Coaches always say, put the fire out after a turnover. You trust the defense will put the fire out. All the momentum could have swung there, but here we are at a 3rd and 10 yet again. This Wake Forest defense has really been stepping up to the task.
0 for 11 on 3rd down is North Carolina.
That's a wild state.
8 back in coverage. Howell's going to throw deep down the middle, and he's got a man for a first down in Daz Newsome.
I was just going to say there aren't a lot of plays to call on 3rd and 20. That's about all you got. You go deep down the middle, deep outside, and nobody likes to see a draw or a screen. What a play, a 32-yard gain. Gets him a conversion, gets him over the 50-yard line. They got to get going.
Back to the ground, Michael Carter evading tackles, and back-to-back first downs for North Carolina for the first time tonight.
Now we go. Their first couple games, this is what happened. The North Carolina team got hot late, and they became unstoppable. It looks as if the Wake Forest defense might be a little bit tired. They got them on their heels. Can they continue to press in their first time in Wake Forest territory?
Excellent job up front for Wake Forest. It was Rondell Bothroyd, the redshirt freshman, who made the initial contact and spilled it out.
This Wake Forest team is so disciplined, so disciplined. The total yards in the first half, 71 for North Carolina. Second half, 76 already. Has to feel good, but this Wake Forest defense has been stingy tonight.
Best drive, longest drive of the game for the Heels, the 10th play of this series. Good blitz pickup by Carter. Howell, back of the end zone and incomplete. He was looking for Rontavious Groves.
Thanks for your service to the women and men standing in the corner over there. Almost got hit with the ball. Thought he had him, though. I thought he had him there potentially.
Still jawing away with Jasir Taylor.
Another 3rd and 10. This one's in the red zone, but can't say it enough. The 3rd down defense of Wake Forest tonight has been outstanding.
They have a football 101 at Wake with Coach Clausen. All these situations are gone over relentlessly.
On 3rd and 15. Howe under pressure. Down he goes. Justin Strnad.
Well, with the 6th sack tonight, it's Justin Strnad. Incredible player, leader. Every coach talked about it. The players talk about it. And on campus, we said, hey, who's the best guy in the building? Who's got the brightest smile? Who's a leader? Who's a leader, an emotional, just pick-me-up guy? Justin Strnad. What a huge play.
Now we have a 49.5-yard attempt here by Noah Ruggles, who Matt Brown said doesn't have a lot of faith, but he has a big leg.
Can he deliver the first Carolina points of the night? It is good.
What a ball by Noah Ruggles. 49.5 yards to get on the board. Good for UNC to get some points. Obviously, they were forward, went backward, but looks like a little bit of momentum here for UNC. 21-3 in Winston-Salem.
Noah Ruggles missed from 49 against Miami last week, but Mac Brown was able to send him out there for a 49-yarder this week, and he delivered the first points in the first true road game of the season for Mac Brown and the Tar Heels. Still a 3-score lead for Wake Forest. Christian Beal-Smith will send it out to the 25-yard line.
It's a good one. My family's at that game, Adam.
Yep, they're checking it out tonight.
What? They told me they were at home watching me, but then I just found out.
They were just like, no, that's definitely not happening.
How about it?
There's Kenneth Walker on first down. Great run for Walker. Out across the 40-yard line. He's got the ability, we saw it last week, to break open some big ones. He picks up 20.
Well, we talked about it. This is a program where they redshirt freshmen. You better be special if you're a true freshman on the field. This was a special run. Kenneth Walker making guys miss, protecting the football.
It'd be great to be that athletic.
Kid ran for 3,500 yards at Arlington High School in Tennessee. Had a big breakout last week. And right now, his offense, and Dave Clausen in control. A 21-3 lead in this non-conference clash between longtime ACC and conference rivals. 107th meeting tonight. It's been mostly Wake Forest. 18-point advantage, trying to get to 3-0 tonight. Mac Brown said one of the biggest problems for North Carolina the last 2 years as he watched them from afar was the fourth quarter. They really struggled the last 2 years in the fourth quarter. They've been excellent in the fourth quarter in their first 2 games. A fresh set of downs for Wake Forest from their own 45 to start. And Kenneth Walker out of the gates in the fourth quarter gets hit by Chaz Surratt. Let's go down to Molly McGrath.
Well, Adam, Sam Howell told me their team message is the team that is the toughest, the longest wins. And every day at the end of practice, they practice this. They huddle up, put 4 fingers to the sky, blast music, watch highlight videos. And during those final drills, they turn everything up a notch. And these sidelines have been injected with energy. And the message is chip away.
How important is the defense right now, Maddie?
Well, think about it. Think about the job that this defense has done. 6 days ago, they were on the field for 75 plays. They lost Strobridge. They lost Patrice Renee.
Nothing much up the middle that time. And Aaron Crawford stacks up Walker. 3rd down coming.
And for the last 6 drives, they've held Wake scoreless. They got the ball. They got the turnover. The offense has to pick it up. At some point, this North Carolina defense is either going to break or have to score themselves.
Tamon Fox needs to pin his ear back and make a play. They have a saying with the North Carolina Tar Heels football team: be the one. Be the one. Fourth quarter can make this a game if you're the one who makes a big play here on the North Carolina defensive side of the ball.
Keep it conservative here with Walker, and North Carolina's defense makes a stop out of the gate here in the fourth quarter. 4th down coming up for Wake Forest. Pitt at Penn State coming up tomorrow at noon Eastern on ABC. You'll get a chance to see Kenny Pickett on the road. NC State against Pat's Boys, West Virginia. Clemson, Syracuse in a rematch at the Carrier Dome from 2 years ago. And then, as you mentioned on the ACC Network, Florida State and UVA.
I'll tell you, I was watching on ESPNU all day today, those throwback games. Florida State versus Virginia. Danny Cannell slinging it around. Chris Long out there. Tiki Barber. Those were some
of the greats in Virginia history you're rattling off right there.
Virginia's got a shot this year.
They're the only team to never win the Coastal Division. It's been 6 different Coastal Division champions in the last 6 years, including North Carolina in 2015 when they won 11 games that season. Carolina down 18. They've got the ball at the 20 when you come back. Sam Howell back to work, finding Michael Carter out of the backfield for North Carolina. And he muscles ahead, dragging defenders for a first down to the 31-yard line.
For how much Wake Forest has dominated this game, the energy on the sideline during that last time out for the UNC Tar Heels was something that was really interesting to see. They could be defeated, they could be down, but it feels as if they might mount something special here. And this all revolves around the culture that Mack Brown had to turn around quickly. He had everybody on the team go in front of everybody else and tell their whole story. They have a lot of trust in each other. They have a lot of trust in the coaches. Now it's time for them to make a comeback here on what has been a pretty dead night for their offense.
Back to the ground game, and Carter gets hit hard by Travion Red. That'll set up second down.
That was a hit by Trey Red. And Pat, you mentioned that sideline. I got to believe if you look at all the Carolina blue, they're really lined up right behind that bench. You know, you got guys on the sidelines. You got guys on the sidelines waving towels, standing on the sidelines. It's like they believe. It's like they don't know that they're down 3 scores. And sometimes you'll hear coaches on the sideline saying, hey, listen, it's 0-0, 1 score at a time. There's no such thing as a play that scores 2 touchdowns. We've got to get 1.
Deep shot. Howell connects. He's got De'Ami Brown. Into the Wake Forest red zone, a big play.
And just like that, that mentality, that mindset, not giving up, we're not out of this, creates a big play here in the 4th quarter when they've been looking for one desperately. A 55-yard pitch and catch to potentially get them back in this thing. You just need 1 score. Then you need a stop. Then you need another. That mindset of we're not dead yet is one that can radiate through an entire organization, and that starts with the trust of the players and the coaches. The crowd. But this is exactly what we're talking about. UNC has this fresh set of life, it feels like.
Wow. Oh, what a shot. He took a big hit from Sternad, who's laid the wood on a couple of Tar Heels tonight. It'll be second down and 9.
Well, nice job by the quarterback. Howell here avoiding Schmenda, the blitzer. Really nice, but at that point, I'd like to see him have his eyes downfield, not take the big hit.
Remember, Mack Brown said we had to teach him to slide. He took too many hits against South Carolina. He was better against Miami last week.
Yeah, well, you're not back at Sun Valley.
Some trickery on the reverse. The moves by Newsome and great rally to the ball by Wake Forest.
This Wake Forest defense is swarming.
Have been all night, Matt. They have been all night. UNC popped off that big play, but Wake came back and made a big stop there. 3rd and 7. Here we go. 4th quarter, 9:51 left, Matt.
Miscommunication by Wake Forest right now. They're having a hard time getting lined up.
Seems like Phil Longo saw that over on the sideline, adjusted.
Isaiah Asisima, by the way, is in for the injured Amari Henderson. Molly McGrath says Henderson is okay. Michael Carter on the perimeter, beats the man he needs to beat, and he's in for the first Carolina touchdown of the night.
They had numbers on that left side. You saw the entire offense of North Carolina look to the left. Offensive coordinator Phil made the adjustment, throw the swing route out to the side. Receivers get a good block, and in he goes, Mr. Brown.
And this is really essentially a running play. You're getting the ball outside to one of your fastest running backs. And we talked about it before. What is the difference between just a kind of a normal player springing somebody for a touchdown? It's wide receivers blocking downfield.
Michael Carter, 2 receptions, 22 yards, and a tutty right there. Big score for the UNC Tar Heels. Extra point is good. Here we go. Now we're playing football. 21-10.
11-point game. Michael Carter, the speedster, his first touchdown of the season. pass TD and a rush TD in 13 straight games from De'Ara King. We'll see him on Thursday night in New Orleans at Tulane next week. Christian Beal-Smith on the return for Wake. And brought down across the 25-yard line.
Wake Forest hasn't really had to answer yet all night, but here they go.
Kenneth Walker, a good run. Will pick up a first down to the 38-yard line.
And this is what happens when you have 24 redshirt seniors on the team. To be able to handle this situation where it looked like UNC was potentially stealing all of the momentum there with a big-time score here in the fourth quarter. Jamie Newman goes out there, they hand the ball off just like they always do and keep moving the ball forward. It's a veteran team, man.
A yard on that play for Walker.
It really is, and I just really got to credit North Carolina's defense again. That's 7 drives in a row where they've held Wake Forest scoreless. And really, that's the reason that it feels like in this stadium that North Carolina has a chance to get back in this game. Because for a while at 21-0, it didn't feel that way.
Newman into a tight window. It is caught at the 42-yard line in traffic. We'll set up third down as Sage Surratt adds to his career night tonight. Huge third down play coming up. It feels like the game's hanging in the balance for the Tar Heels.
You can feel this North Carolina. You can hear that crowd coming alive too. You see the sidelines in North Carolina. Mac Brown has these guys believing. The game is on the line on this third down in the fourth quarter.
Big.
Blitz coming. Newman taking a shot. They're challenging Morrison, trying to get Surratt on a deep ball. No flag on the play. It'll be fourth down for Wake Forest.
This is really, really good coverage by Trey Morrison, and actually an incredible throw. Sage Surratt on the go route. This is called a back shoulder throw. You want it at the shoulder pad or higher, where the receiver turns away from the defender. You either get the catch or you get the pass interference call. That's a great throw, great defense, good play.
I love Wake Forest doing that, though. I love them going for it, but it didn't work out, so now North Carolina's going to get the ball back.
Maggio with a good boot. But it will be let go by Groves. Smart play. Out to the 20 comes North Carolina.
The mental toughness of this 18-year-old Sam Howell is really something to be desired, man. I mean, to have that first half that he had where he got pulled and come back in here and make this a game. The Wake Forest defense, though, has been showing up all night. They need a stop here. This momentum train can't keep flowing to the Tar Heels if you're a Wake Forest Demon Deacon fan.
We mentioned Nasir Greer earlier. What a night he has had. Luke Masterson, kind of the leader of that secondary back there. Former punter in high school, Pat, but really kind of a hybrid guy. Is he a safety, as a linebacker? Nasir Greer caused a fumble tonight. Big stuff.
Howell under pressure, delivers a low throw on target. Good for a first down to De'Ami Brown.
See Trey Rucker with a little pressure here. Kind of a delayed blitz, but he gets to Sam Howell. It's kind of like you're staring down the barrel of a gun and you got to stand in there and be tough and deliver the strike. He did it very, very well.
Draw play, Michael Carter. Kicks it to the outside for a big gain. Inside the 30, hurling inside the 20-yard line.
UNC fan base is coming alive. Carter, who just had the touchdown on the last series, delayed handoff, pops one down the left sideline.
We mentioned, Pat, this is one of their faster players, the faster running backs. Outside runner, 50-yard gain. They were bringing pressure. What's good against pressure? A draw. There they just come with a four-man rush. Perfect timing for the play call. Great run.
Back to Williams on the ground. Not much there. With penetration by Ja'Cory Johns, redshirt freshman.
And this has been Wake Forest's night. 3.5 quarters, Wake Forest was dominant. Now UNC's looking alive. Much like their first 2 weeks, Adam. Much like their first 2 weeks. We're in for one here in Winston-Salem.
Trying to rewrite the script that has gotten them 2 victories in the first 2 weeks. Howell keeps it and fires. It is caught. It is a touchdown for De'Ami Brown. We got a ball game with 6 minutes to go.
They go with a little play action, RPO. What a great throw. The former baseball player goes sidearm. We talked about this kid in the fourth quarter, previous games, bringing his team back. He's done it again tonight. Going for the two-point conversion, ice in his veins. This is fun to watch, guys.
To try to make it a field goal game here. Howell pumps, fires, end zone. It's caught by Garrett Walston, and it's a three-point game.
Ooh, wow. Wow. We talked about Walston earlier in the night. He's more of a receiving tight end. That is a huge two-point conversion. This stadium is alive with Carolina fans. What a game. We talked about the fourth quarter heroics by Sam Howell. He's benched earlier in the game. They bring him back in the second half. He brings his team back. They believe in him. What a game.
Fourth quarter has been the story for North Carolina in its first two games. It's becoming a story tonight, outscoring Wake Forest 15-0. Fair catch inside the 25, so it'll be out at the 25. And we got a good one brewing here. This game does not count in the ACC standings. If you're just joining us, this was scheduled as a non-conference matchup between conference foes. Jamie Newman, who's had a big night tonight on the ground with 2 touchdowns, takes it out to the 32-yard line. A lot of energy on the Carolina side. What do you got, Molly McGrath?
Yeah, Adam, it's completely changed after those 2 touchdowns. Players are saying, it's here. This is what we've been waiting for. We have done this before. With our backs against the wall, we know how to win. So they're trying to ride this momentum.
Newman again wrapped up, but powers ahead for the first down to the 36-yard line.
In the first half, Jamie Newman was running over defenders. He's going to have to do that. They have to turn this momentum around in Wake Forest's favor. 3.5 quarters, they were dominant right now. Situational football is going to be big here going down the stretch.
And I'm really impressed with the poise of Jamie Newman. He's done it as a runner, as a thrower. They're bringing corner blitzes on him. He's saying, okay, you're not baiting me into, you're not trapping me, protecting the football.
Down he goes as Tyrone Hopper picks up the sack, his first of the season, and it's second down.
And this North Carolina defense, we've mentioned it, 8 straight scoreless drives. The first one started out with a 4th down stop in the red zone, but this is their first sack tonight. And I gotta say, they believe the energy is up. And that's half of what it is in defense. It's just effort.
On second and long, Newman looking for Washington, reaching down for the catch. What a play. Down to the 43.
What an answer. UNC gets their first sack. UNC seems to have all the momentum. Then Jamie Newman delivers a dime to the ACC wide receiver of the week last week. Scotty Washington bends down low to pick it up. They needed that in a big way. This is fixing to be a classic ending here.
27-yard strike to the 6'5" redshirt senior from Washington, D.C.
This is what you come to an ACC school for then. Friday night prime time, fourth quarter, 1-score game.
Newman keeps it. Slipping tackles and a good run on first down to the 36. Clock continues to move closer to 4 minutes remaining.
And Jamie Newman recognizes Woolfolk, number 11, the safety, blitzing off the edge. Decides not to hand the ball off, keep the ball. Again, his poise, his decision-making, his accuracy with the football, the way he's protected the football. That's why they played so well offensively tonight, because of number 12.
Redshirt junior out of Graham, North Carolina. Just his 7th career start. Handoff for Christian Beal-Smith, and he runs right into Jeremiah Gemmel, the sophomore. Third down coming up, and a big one. First meeting in 4 years. And it's been a good one tonight. Third down and 2 coming up. Newman stays on his feet. Just needs 2 yards and picks it up for the first down.
What a player. Even switched the ball in his hands and find his balance, pick up a massive first down when his team needs it. Jamie Newman has been nothing short of incredibly impressive tonight.
This is really good defense by North Carolina, and this is just heart, effort, desire. Jamie Newman, again, protecting the football, understanding how important this first down is, almost willing his team to a first down.
Wake Forest big on tempo, but in no hurry right now. Trying to milk as much of the clock as possible. Both teams still have their full complement of timeouts with 2.5 minutes to go. Boy, Newman got rid of it at the very last second to Christian Beal-Smith. That option read fooled everybody on that play. 14 yards for Christian Beal-Smith.
It's almost magical the way that Jamie Newman can just disguise whether or not he's going to give the ball up. Everybody thought Newman still had the ball, and then bang, Beal-Smith pops out of it with the ball.
You know, one of their best players, Jason Strobridge, is out tonight. Who's going to be the one? Who's going to be the one to step up and make a play for Carolina's defense?
Wildcat here. It is Kenneth Walker trying to stretch to the edge. He wants to stay in bounds if possible, and he does. That would force North Carolina to use another timeout potentially. And indeed, Mack Brown will use it here. Their second. Can Wake Forest put it away? Straight up the gut with Beal-Smith. Down to the 15-yard line. Still over 2 minutes to go. And the final timeout for Mack Brown's crew used here. So now, if you get the stop on third down, you can still milk 40 more seconds off the clock. Get it down to about 1:20-ish. Force a field goal try. Let's assume there's a make just for the sake of the situation. Still just a 6-point game at that point. Back to the ground game. Beal-Smith gets stopped, trying to hold on to that football. Clock will continue to move. Wake Forest can use a timeout when the play clock gets milked all the way down if they wish.
Thinking as a kicker here, at least he got tackled right in the middle of the field. He was kind of lunging left. They moved him back to the middle of the field. Nick Skiba could potentially knock one home here, put him up 6 with about 1:20 left.
32-yard try to go up by 6. Sophomore from Clover, South Carolina. From the middle of the field. And Nick Skiba delivers again, 15 in a row.
I cannot stress enough how big of a kick that is for Nick Skiba, for Wake Forest, for the entire game. But now, 1:09 left, no timeouts, down 6, one-score game. What will UNC do with it?
Well, I'll tell you what might happen. Sam Howell might get the ball. And we're talking about a guy in the fourth quarter tonight who's 5 for 6 with 106 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion. And he's just a freshman. This is his 3rd game. So overall in the fourth quarter, he's 15 for 19, 275 yards, and 5 touchdowns. This kid, we said it in the open, fourth quarter is when he has played his best. He will have his chance to do what he did in the first 2 games. Tonight, he's got that chance once again.
This game does not count in the ACC standings, but I bet you there's a lot of folks in black and gold and Tar Heel blue that are happy that these 2 longtime rivals are squaring off once again. And we've been treated to a heck of a game tonight. Nick Skiba will kick away. Michael Carter back to return. Out to the 25-yard line will come North Carolina's offense, needing 75 yards to tie the game, maybe win it. 75 yards to tie it. Let's go.
What a moment for Sam Howell here, Matt Hasselbeck.
He's going to throw on first down. Scrambling out, smart play, incomplete, clock stops. 63 seconds remain.
I'm impressed with the poise of Sam Howell. There was an opportunity to force it there. They try to go with that inside fade that we talked about earlier in the game. It's great versus man coverage. It's terrible versus zone coverage. He got zone coverage. He had the poise and the patience to throw it away. He's got no timeouts. But this is his element, the fourth quarter.
8 back in coverage for Wake Forest. Howe fires to the out route, caught by Newsome, and he steps out of bounds to stop the clock. It's a first down. It would have stopped to reset the chains. Instead, it stops, and it won't start again until the snap.
And I really believe that this 2-minute offense kind of fits what North Carolina is anyway. Offensive coordinator Phil Longo, they go fast. They've got this hair on fire tempo anyway.
Three-man rush once again. Howell over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were looking for Daz Newsome again that time, and Justin Strnad, the linebacker, moving back in coverage.
Well, this is good coverage once again by Wake Forest. This is 2-minute defense, but Justin Strnad, he's done it all. The question is, can these guys who are great tacklers, great blitzers, can they cover guys on the slot man coverage? That was great coverage.
Second down and 10.
Friday night prime time.
Howell stepping up. Trying to run to the sidelines, but he's caught up to by Boogie Basham. The clock continues to move with 45 seconds remaining.
Boogie Basham's been everywhere tonight. You like to see the effort. They're rushing three. It's hard to get a pass rush with just 3 guys, but they're getting it.
Howell, quick throw. It was deflected back to him, and he takes off. He got close to the sticks. It was deflected by Boogie Basham. They'll mark it short of the line to gain, so the clock continues to move.
Still going. The clock is still rolling here. Need to pick it up. Need a half a yard here.
They can't spike it. It's 4th down. They need the yard, and then they need to spike. It's a run play. Big hole. Michael Carter should get out of bounds if he can. Clock continues to move. Down to triple zeros, and it's over. Wow. Let's wait here. Mac Brown telling the officials.
The refs are sprinting.
The refs are headed back towards the tunnel.
They're sprinting.
And Mac Brown is running down the sideline. No timeouts. You had to get the first down. You could have given yourself up because the clock would have stopped for a moment on first down.
They held him up.
They held him up.
Football 101 has paid off for Coach Clawson. The young team with North Carolina just got outsmarted by the vets of Wake Forest.
And it's hard for a running back to exactly know. This isn't basketball where you just look up at the shot clock. It's hard to know exactly how much time is on the clock, but I gotta believe getting out of bounds was the right thing to do there.
Well,
situational defense. Talk about 2-minute offense. How about 2-minute defense? This is the second time this season that 2-minute defense has won a game for Wake Forest.
Wow.
What a finish. My goodness.
I mean, Wake Forest is in a full celebration right now. The refs are already in their cars on the way home. And all we have is a question about, is there a second still left on the clock? Congrats to Coach Clawson's team, though. Showing up early, making some big plays, getting a win. Mac Brown's team showed resilience at the end there. But, man, we were set up for a nail-biter there at the end.
Younger brother gets the best of big brother tonight.
What a job by Dave Clawson.
Yep.
Yeah, what a game tonight by both of these organizations.
Awesome. 24-18, the final for Pat, Matt, Molly. I'm Adam. Let's take it to the Advocare Texas kickoff for Houston and Wazoo.